Happy Friday. We made it to our second week. Somehow, we made it. Okay. Haven't done one of these in a while. Day, let's fix that guy. 29. Today's word is cogency, which means to be clear, logical, and convincing. So that works really well for writing. All right. I'm going to go through what you've done already this week and what you are going to be doing today, and then all of the things that are required to turn in today so that you know what needs to be submitted. It's pretty obvious on Classroom because it has a note next to it that says when it's due. If it has a due date, it's obviously something that you need to turn in. If it doesn't have a due date, it's not something that needs to be submitted. It's usually a material of mine that you don't need to turn in, and you don't need a copy of it. That being said, there are a lot of you that click request access on a document, and if you have to request access for something, it means you don't need a copy of it, so you don't need to click that. Google Classroom is really great about setting up assignments, and when I set them up, it asks me if I want to make a copy for you, and everything that you need to be writing on, I click yes, make a copy for each student. So that is that. All right, so far this week, on Monday, let's do a review real quick of the week. The things that you were working on that day, we started again our reading logs. Hopefully you open that up. Pandemic journal, that's due today. You did the Holocaust slide notes, and hopefully you saved one of those notes for yourself, because those also make a copy for you, so you watched the very long video and saved the notes. Then you picked your Lit Circle book. I think I have 59 of you right now that have picked a book, so that's awesome, because our first meeting is today. And then you submitted the form to let me know which book you picked, and you started reading it. That was Monday. Pretty easy, aside from the notes that were kind of time-consuming. Tuesday, catching up on extras, honestly, because Monday was a lot, and especially since that hour and 16-minute video needed to be watched, I wanted you to split that up if that was too much for you. So Wednesday, you were continuing this week reading that section in your Lit Circle book, which for some of us, we ran into the trouble of... if you got an ebook, the page numbers might be different, but just know that, and some of you asked me that, and that was great, just know that there are 4 meetings, so you're basically reading a fourth of the book. Then you'll read another fourth, we'll be halfway through by next Friday, etc., etc. Okay. And then in addition to those, on Wednesday, you read Anne Frank, Act 1, Scenes 1 through 3. So you had a document for that, and then you had 2 responses that you should have been answering, and some of you followed the directions on their response and wrote a full paragraph with detail and evidence and thought, and some of you wrote 3 sentences. So some of you, I kicked your assignment back to you so you could try that again. All right, yesterday, Thursday, was basically a catch-up from Monday and Wednesday because that was a lot. A lot of you hadn't picked your books yet because you weren't doing things in order on the Classroom and you were just jumping around and doing whatever, whenever. Please do them in order. That's why I put them that way. I take a lot of time and I put a lot of effort into organizing them for you so that it makes sense and that it's as easy as it can be, because it's not easy to work online without a teacher there telling you what to do first, then next, and then filling in the blanks. So Thursday, you're finishing up Act 1, Scenes 1 through 3, doing your 2 responses, maybe doing a new entry in your journal that's due today, etc., reading in your Lit Circle. So today, you will be finishing up your journal if you haven't finished that. So if you need one new entry, you can submit that today. Over the weekend, I think I extended that to over the weekend. There's some things that I put due on Sunday just in case, because today has extra stuff on it, just in case we need a little more time for that. And today you're going to read 2 new scenes. So Anne Frank is divided into 2 acts. You're going to finish Act 1 today. It has 5 scenes. So you've read 1 through 3. Now you're going to read 4 and 5 today. It's only 2 scenes that you're reading today. I added 1 more response. So you've already done 2 responses. You're going to do response number 3 today. So if you haven't read the first 3 scenes and you've saved everything to today, you have a lot to do. So this is about time management. This is why we made your work from home schedule last week, so that it would help you with this kind of stuff. Obviously, I don't know exactly what's going on in every other class of yours. That's why I give you all week and I space them out to get them done. So if this is a tough week for you, just know that you have time over the weekend to do some of it. Okay, you should have this section right here for week 1 read. That should be done. So for Book Thief, you should have read through page 138. For Boy in the Striped Pajamas, you should have read through chapter 4. For Milkweed, you should have read through chapter 11. I think there's one person that has If I Should Die Before I Wake, you should have read through chapter 6. Stones and Water, you should have read the film The Train, Pix, and Wasser. Boy Who Dared, you should have read through page 41 or listened. Night, you should have read the preface, the foreword, and through page 35. And The Cage, you should have read through chapter 12. So that's kind of tricky on ebooks sometimes and audiobooks, so I hope that if you were confused by those numbers that you sent me an email, and a couple of you did, and we squared that away. But if you didn't, hopefully you have your reading assignment done today, because you can't do your Lit Circle assignment without the reading assignment being done. Okay. You will have an individual piece, one that you will do on your own, and you will submit it. And then you will have a Padlet discussion, which will take you, it's on Google Classroom, but it'll take you away from Google Classroom. It's basically a wall, kind of like a social media wall, I guess. I have 2 posts on there. I have a step 1 for you, which is for you to share some ideas and thoughts, and then a step 2, which is for you to respond to other people. So if you're the first person on there and you share your thoughts, you obviously have to come back to it later. That could be later today, that could be later this weekend, that could be whenever. If you're one of the last people on there, obviously you have more people to respond to. You have to respond to 2 people. Okay? And then lastly, there were a lot of questions from last Friday to this Friday. Oh, I forgot to tell you there's going to be a first chapter Friday on today's slide, because we had a cool, I did the first week, remember 2 weeks ago, and then we had Nick Stone, a YA author, young adult author, read her first chapter of her book, and then I'll add another one today. So questions from the last couple weeks. Numero uno. This is a very important one. How good are you at cornhole? Me. I'm very good at cornhole. Very good. So I'll take you on any day, person who submitted that. What do you do if you still have library books? I talked with Miss Wiltsey, and she said don't worry about them right now, keep them safe. They're not sure if they'll collect them. They really don't know what they're doing with them yet, because they're going to have to sanitize and clean them all, but keep it safe for now. The fines have been removed. There's no fines. There's no late fees or anything, so they fixed that. So don't worry about that. You can even shoot Miss Wiltsey an email and let her know which title you have, just so she knows. Favorite Disney movie? Ooh. Is Incredibles a Disney movie? Oh, there was one a while ago that just kind of like got swept under the rug, but it's a really good one. Meet the Robinsons. If that's a Disney movie, I'm going to make that my favorite right now. Meet the Robinsons. Okay. Favorite seafood? Ooh, I love sushi, so I'll go with sushi first. And then fish tacos. Any kind of blackened fish tacos. They're so good. Okay. Next. Okay. What lives if it is fed and dies if you give it a drink? Fire. Because if you put it out, get it? Okay. What's my favorite number? 4 or 44? 4 or 44. I was always a 4. What songs can you play on the ukulele? I thought for sure when I saw this question last Friday that I would have learned one by now, and guess what? I haven't. So it's on my list this weekend to actually do it. So I have a program downloaded, I have an app on my phone, I'm going to go learn the chords, and I'm going to learn the easiest song out there so that next Friday I'll actually have this done, and I think I said this in last Friday's video, but hold me to it, okay? What kind of partner work are we doing? I told you. Next week we're going to do some different partner work, so I'm going to switch it up every week. Hopefully we can actually do a meet sometime where you can actually talk to people about the book you're reading. Would I rather be really tiny or really big? Really big, I could go places faster. Can we count the Lit Circle book in our reading log? Absolutely, and you should be. So in your reading log, when I look at it at the end of the week, or maybe the beginning of the week when I get the chance, you should have your independent novel that we checked out at the beginning of last week, whether it's from Libby or you found it around your house, and your Lit Circle book. Log both of them. Favorite drink of all time? Coffee. And what's it like being a teacher during this time? Thanks for asking. I'm sure it's difficult being a student. It's just as difficult being a teacher, honestly. Most teachers are teachers because they like to interact with kids, and they like to be in front of them and share knowledge with them and share their passions with them, and not seeing you all. Basically, you see my face if you watch this, because some of you aren't watching these. But I don't get to see your faces, and we don't get to interact that much. But I do love reading your writing, so it's been tough, but it's an adjustment, and it won't be forever. So that's it. All right. Happy Friday!